Hey y'all, iRick Guy here, and I wanted to do a follow-up review of the DJI Mini 2, and I've got it in this case. Actually, this isn't the Mini 2 case, but it's the case that I used for my Mavic Air 2, and since the controller is the same, which I think is probably the same identical controller as the Mavic Air 2, I just used the same case because it works great. But let me pop the DJI Mini 2. Again, curiously enough, DJI dropped the word Mavic from the title. Obviously, this drone is the upgrade for the original DJI Mini, Mavic Mini. But see, now they just call it Mini 2. They don't say Mavic. I don't know if they've got some rebranding in progress or what, but I mean, that doesn't matter. What matters are my opinions after flying this for several weeks. And check out all my videos. Subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/iRickSky, and ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. But I've got a playlist full of DJI Mini 2 videos and a lot more DJI Mini 2 videos coming soon. So my observations so far, again, after a few weeks of using the DJI Mini 2, first of all, the build quality is exceptional. It's very small, it's very lightweight, but you'll notice where they didn't add additional weight, like there's no cover for the USB-C, which is great. It uses USB-C for recharge and also video download. And then there's no cover for the micro SD card slot. There is a cover for the battery. I'm assuming that may be some sort of safety thing why they had to put that on there. I don't know if that door could have been eliminated. Again, the weight of this drone is 200, as it says on the side of it, and I'll unfold it here so you can see it. The weight of this drone is 249 grams. So if you're in a situation where, you know, weight may be important, again, check with your country's local law enforcement agency, but because of this weight, you may not have to deal with as many registration type steps, etc. But again, check with your country's local governing body to confirm that. But so it's nice being smaller, not just because of, you know, the possibility of not having to be subject to as many regulations, but also if you're like I am right now. I mean, obviously I'm in a permissible place. I'm out in the wilderness in the Appalachian Mountains. You know, this is a place where it is permissible to fly. So, you know, in a situation like that, I keep looking around because it's peak bear season, because, you know, bears are gathering, they're trying to fatten up for their hibernation. So, you know, I always have bear spray with me. But yeah, so this is just really good. They've made some major improvements from the Mavic Mini that a lot of people, especially if you're new to drones, you may not have even been aware of. First of all, the thermals, the way that this thing handles heat. Even after flying my first day in the field where I flew an entire battery, this was slightly warm. It wasn't hot. You know, in the past with drones, they would get very warm. This doesn't. So they've got the temperature regulation right. This does not use enhanced Wi-Fi. This uses OcuSync. So the FPV, both the first-person view and the controls, have both been flawless. The range of this, if the operator wasn't careful, could radically exceed visual line of sight. So definitely be careful when you're flying the DJI Mini 2, because I mean that OcuSync is an incredible communications technology. The propellers, and I'd mentioned this before, they don't have, you know, like the larger drones where you push and kind of twist to put the propeller on and then also to take the propeller off. These utilize two screws. So you can see there's a screw there and a screw there. Not a problem at all. It comes with extra screws, it comes with extra propellers. But just something to be aware of, that, you know, when you do go in the field, don't forget to take your little screwdriver. It comes with a little B screwdriver. And don't forget to take extra props and extra screws in case, you know, one falls out. I mean, I'm in the mountains right now, man. You know, I could you know, drop it and never find it again. And that would, you know, ruin a hike if you didn't have propellers to get your extra footage if you broke one. That segues into the height of this. And, you know, I'm just going to use my arm, but you can see how low, especially those rear end propellers are to the ground. So if you're taking this off in the wilderness, you know, be sure you've got a flat surface, and that includes twigs, rocks, grass, anything that might stick up that could interfere with the props. You know, make sure it's on a hard and flat surface. What I do is take a landing pad. I've got one with me right now while I'm not backpacking, I'm just day hiking. But you can find that linked within this video's description as well. Pops out, creates a flat surface, brightly colored. You know, when you're doing FPV, you can even see it on the FPV screen because it's so bright. So I would highly recommend that, but that is something to be aware of with this small size. And you know, the propellers do come very close to the ground when it's you know, when it's taking off and landing. So something to be aware of. The camera is a 4K camera. This drone's predecessor, the DJI Mavic Mini, the original DJI Mavic Mini, again, and they dropped the word Mavic, this is just called the DJI Mini 2, but this will do 4K. The predecessor topped out at 2.7K. So you're getting a better communications technology, OcuSync. You're getting a better video format, 4K instead of 2.7K. You're also getting, you've got USB-C on the drone end, and then you've also got USB-C on the controller end. Recharge it in a car, recharge it in a boat, recharge it with a solar USB battery bank, recharge it from a computer's USB port. It's so much better than having to fumble with third-party chargers. You know, with the other drones, you probably had a car charger, you probably had a wall charger, you probably had a charger that would allow you to charge multiple batteries at the same time. What's so wonderful about this, it's USB. I use generic USB cables. I got tons of USB-C cables sitting around, so I just keep USB-C cables in all different places where I might charge this and or my other devices. This camera I'm filming this with, for example, uses USB-C to recharge. So it's nice having just a standard cable format to do your, you know, to do your recharging and stuff. But I couldn't be happier with it. The entire, you know, the controller, the way that this mounts to the top, instead of, you know, the previous version, it had kind of the wonky, you know, you would pop the little handles out, and it just wasn't a good feeling experience. But see, this one, it mounts on the top, and what you may not realize is that these are actually antennas. These are antennas built into the top of the controller. So not only is it holding your smartphone, but it's also functioning as antennas. So, you know, that's a radical improvement. And it's worth mentioning, this phone that I'm using right now is in its case. It's iPhone 12 Pro, and it's in its case, and it still fits in that. So I don't know how many times with the previous drone you may have taken your phone out of the case, you dropped your phone because you were trying to fumble and stick it in the little wonky handles on the bottom, and you broke your phone in the process. Not cool. So this right here, that eliminates that problem. So it's just a greatly superior design. I haven't had any problems with it. I've flown probably, right now, probably only about 3 hours of flight time, because this did just come out a few weeks ago. Yeah, a few weeks ago. And but it's just been great. I mean, it's fun. It's easy to recharge. It, you know, it hasn't given me any grief, and if it does, I'll let y'all know. You know, that's one thing about this channel. I keep everything honest, and about to take it down into the stream, and we're gonna fly over some, you know, low altitude. We're gonna see how well we can maneuver around those branches. And it is worth mentioning, this is not like the larger drones where you get the obstacle avoidance. You know, that's not going to be a feature set that you get with this. So, you know, something to be aware of. If you are an experienced drone pilot, or maybe you're just wanting to get into the hobby and you don't want to break the bank, this is a great way to do it without getting a diluted drone experience. I mean, this flies just like the big boys. So, you know, it's a good segue into the larger drones. And honestly, if you get this, why would you need a larger drone? I mean, this does 4K. You may not even want it. You may not even need it. This may be all you ever need. And I know for me, doing a lot of backpacking, you know, something small, something lightweight, something I recharge off the grid with USB solar battery banks is super important for me. So, you know, just the huge amount of features that are packed into such a tiny package is absolutely incredible. And, you know, DJI has really outdone themselves with this. It's not, you know, it's nothing revolutionary when you just look at it. But when you start using it, and then you break down the features that have been added, the OcuSync, the, you know, the USB-C recharging capability, the 4K video, you know, the extreme, I mean, this thing gets around real world, and I've tested it, over 30 minutes of battery life. And, you know, that's not marketing speak, that's real world. Check out my first day in the field. I had one battery, I've still got one battery. And this thing is incredible, man. I mean, I've flown over a waterfall today, I've flown off a bluff, and I'm about to fly over a creek. So, you know, I mean, it's you know, pack up and go, and the beauty of it too, take your USB solar battery bank, put it in your pack, and keep that thing charging while you hike to the next flying location. So, I mean, it's a feature-rich bundle of goodness. So, with that being said, I appreciate your viewership. Be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/IrixGuy. If you're looking for the DJI Mini 2, or the older Mavic Mini, or the Mavic Pro 2, or the Mavic Air 2, or whatever, expand this video's description and then click the link there, and you can find it all online. Got any questions? Shoot me a message. YouTube or Facebook.com/iRixGuy, and I'll try my best to answer, and also, you know, send any links to accessories and or other drones that you may be interested in. Yeah, but you know, just to quickly recap, this is a phenomenal drone, and it's incredible that DJI has been able to accomplish this at such a small travel size, insignificant travel weight, and a price point that, yeah, drones are expensive, but a price point that may be palatable, especially in comparison to other hobbies. It's really not that expensive. So tell me what you think within the comment section below. And again, I don't have the case for this yet, so actually I'm using a big case. I could use a much smaller case, but you know, I'm working with what I've got. I mean, I'm trying to go out and review and show y'all what this thing can do, because I know the holidays are right around the corner, and I know y'all are looking for the best toy. And this is kind of in between toy and tool. You know, you can get some semi-professional results out of it. But anyway, appreciate it, and y'all be safe. You know, be a responsible drone pilot. You know, always promote drone safety, because if we don't, this hobby will cease to exist very soon, and that would be a big disappointment. So appreciate y'all's viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain iRixGuy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/iRixGuy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.